Hey, how's it going everyone? Here today with the Super Saiyan Vegeta Awakened Super Saiyan Blood. This is the first Dragonballz Vegeta release in a long time. And it's very similar to the previous release where it is that Android Saga Saiyan armor. Though this time instead of having that matte finish over here, we have a more metallic-y, powered up look to it, which looks really cool, especially for the other releases. I do have them here. We'll have a look at the end of this video for a bit of a comparison. So if you do have those ones, this is a nice mix of those figures and kind of differentiates the figures, which is really cool. If you haven't seen already as well, Android 19 is up for pre-order on Premium Bandai last month, and you can pose this one with him for ripping off those arms for that iconic scene, which is absolutely badass. Now, for this figure itself, it is a retail release, so pretty easy to get overall here in Japan. I know pre-orders online from did sell it really fast because, Vegeta, popular, who doesn't want him? So if you haven't got your hands on them yet, you still have a chance. Keep an eye out for your local retail. Keep an eye on your local retailers as well as online, as they should be able to pop up. Now here's a cheap release at about 3,850 yen from memory. So here's one of the cheaper retail releases, which is nice. Now on the back here we do have a nice selection of images showcasing some of the accessories, including the iconic thumbs up hand there, which he uses for saying he's badass, he's about to kick some ass. More often than not, he kind of gets his ass handed to him, but nevertheless, he is cool when he does that pose. So yeah, let's pop him out of the packaging and we can check out what he actually does come with. So just like the previous Z Vegeta, very slim on what we do get. We've got a base figure in the centre there with a stoic neutral look, the slight smug look, and then the screaming face. We get the arms crossed accessory there, so the arms will pop off just underneath the shoulder there, and you can attach that on. And then we've got 3 pairs of hands with fingers spread, like the gripping one and the more of a martial arts pose, as well as the thumbs up one, which we mentioned just for his right hand. So yeah, pretty slim. It does kind of explain the cheap retail pricing. But anyway, let's get him out of this and we can check out the finish. So as Vegeta spins around here, you will notice the light glistening, just shining off that metallic hair up top here, and that's a lovely colour. It's kind of like a very subtle yellow, not mustardy like the original premium colour Vegeta, and not a vibrant yellow like the last Vegeta, but this one here is more neutral in between with that metallic sheen to it, and it just definitely pops when the light hits it. Definitely suits the more powered up look, which is really nice. And then to match that, we have a slightly darker but more saturated blue armor look compared to the previous one, a little bit more closer to the premium color Vegeta. Same for the coloring here of the armor, has that nice neutral clay mud look with the off-white armor which also matches his boots. The only gripe some people have is that he doesn't have a full-on white boots to match the Android 19 setup of that saga. However, for the last how many years it's been, Tamashii has been teasing us with the Saiyan formerly known as Proud Saiyan Prince, or PSP Vegeta as is known in the community, which is the same armor with the white boots and the base black Saiyan head. Now, if Tamashii does release him, he was shown off again at Tamashii Nations 2022. So if we do get him, he will be the perfect figure to switch heads in and out to create the ultimate Super Saiyan Vegeta to battle Android 19. So hopefully we get that maybe next year as another cheap retail release. Definitely go hit up Tamashii and ask him where that figure is, because I know I definitely want it, and I'm sure everyone else does too. If you don't, drop a comment below saying why, and yeah, I doubt anyone will be doing that, because who doesn't want another Vegeta? Anyway, so yeah, that covers the overall finish. I think it's a beautiful blue colour. The colour does vary quite a bit from each Vegeta figure. Some people like the lighter colour, some people like the darker. So definitely let me know below if you like this blue or not. Personally, I think it works really well with the armour and the hair. And overall, it's probably my favourite Vegeta so far, which is quite hard to say because I really enjoyed the previous Vegeta, and that still stacks up. But let's go and check out the articulation and see how it compares. Okay, so starting with the head, actually pretty nice articulation going forward there, And then surprisingly for going back, I think this figure is going to be perfect for doing that pose with the rain coming down with some nice mood lighting while he contemplates life and how he will catch up to Kakarot. But yeah, definitely nice articulation on the neck. You will have to adjust which way the peg is facing to get better articulation left and right, but even with the base setup, he has some decent range of motion left and right, especially when combined with that forward and back tilt. Now moving down to the shoulder area here, this is standard, everything moves up and down and around beautifully. It does have a butterfly joint, though the range of motion a little bit more limited due to those bulking upper arm muscles, but overall the motion is pretty nice. It would be nice if we could get a little bit further around going back and forward, though overall it is pretty satisfactory. Again, the elbow joint is your standard range, which is nice, and the peg, everything there is stock standard to other Vegetas. Overall, everything moves and feels really nice so far. Coming into that torso range, we have some nice curvature that follows the armor well, so we get the motion forward pretty well, and going back is okay, though we will open up some gaps here, so that's something to keep in mind. And the armor, you can lift it up and down, so if you lift it up, you can get further motion forward. So keep that in mind. If it is kind of showing a bit of a big gap, just push the armor back down and it'll cover up. Now we don't have anything hindering the motion on the waist there, so we cancel left and right without any issues. Although the hips, again, still pretty limited, no real big design change from Vegeta. I am looking forward to one that has a new redesign for the hip area to give more range of articulation. Again, going forward with the leg, straight out, and then going back pretty decent, especially compared to the newer figures with the ass flap there. So we do get the further range of motion going back, which is quite nice. Now the knee itself, again, really nice, and then the leg, definitely a lot better than the Dragon Ball Super style Vegeta figures, where the peg is a bit too far back and not enough space. This one has enough space here to move around, as well as to be able to stand up and hold him without falling over. I do always struggle with the Dragon Ball Super Vegeta design, which is a little bit more limited there with tiny feet, but this one here, nice sizing and proportions for the feet, so he can stand up really well by himself. Now if you do want to get a high kick, you can adjust the angle for that leg a little bit to spread up, so you can kick up really high, and now depending on the way you pose him, it can look pretty natural or it will look really odd. So do keep that in mind. If you are trying for a high kick pose, you will need to adjust the body all the way around to align up with the leg. So moving over to the faces, this is the base Stoicon with that subtle lip looking down where he looks rather disgruntled. So the iconic Vegeta pose or expression, if you will. The detailing, the lines above the eyebrows is really nice. We've got the lines above the eyebrows to bring forth that aggravated look. And next is that awesome kind of looking off to the right with the cheeky smirk, which pairs beautifully with that thumbs up. And as soon as I see this, all I can hear is Vegeta saying "Kono oreda." I can't remember what he says in English, but kind of like, it's me, or this is me, or it's my turn, or I'm the badass prince. If you remember what he says in English, do drop a comment below. I'm keen to remember what that is. But anyway, this is definitely probably my favourite face. Again, it's got all those extra lines there to bring forth the emotion. And finally we have the mouth open screaming one, again really nice. We've got the extra lines on the bridge of the nose, which may be a little bit hard to see, but again it really brings forth that kind of angry shouting look to the face, which is really nice. And you might have noticed already over here, but we do have some darker highlights just on the edge over here, and then it goes all the way out to the base yellow colour. So all of that combined with the detailing on the faces really does bring these heads together, and they look beautiful. I would definitely love to see a remake of this here with a non-metallic look as well, just something to pair nicely with the other Vegeta bodies. So as Vegeta would say, we've got a bit of a Super Saiyan bargain sale going on here, and this is the Vegeta lineup. Now the crossed arms also come with Vegeta as we saw previously. I'm never a big fan of those, but he does look really cool in that pose. And as we have coming around to the front here, this is the previous Dragonballz Vegeta. This one here has always been one of my favourites. I love the colouring of the hair. It has the lighter blue colour, but overall, this figure and the brand new Awakened Super Saiyan Blood Vegeta, I'd say they're pretty much identical. It's just the colouring and obviously the new facial prints, which is a big difference. However, as we can see in the front here, this is the premium coloured Vegeta, something that I still actually really like. I've always loved the armour, the extra colouring, the sheen that it has is really nice, and I have always enjoyed the blue colour. So as we can kind of see here, the new Vegeta has a blue which is very similar to both of those. It's kind of like an in-between. It's taking the darker colour for the premium colour one and then just up the saturation a little bit. So you have three beautiful Vegetas here. I know a lot of people don't really like the premium colour, but it still has a special place in my heart. I just love that overall armour look. So yeah, definitely drop a comment below which one is your favourite of these, and you know, what would be your, I guess, your ultimate Vegeta look if you took all these, take the best parts from each one and combine it. I think for me it would be having this armour with this body and this here. Take all those together, that'd be Chef's Kiss Vegeta right there. So that brings us to the pros and cons then, and yeah, I mean pros, it's Vegeta. Beautiful finish. I love the blue. I think the hair is actually a pro. I mean, I guess it can be a con depending on how you look at it. But having variety in the hair colouring, the look, the sheen, the finish, I think is a wonderful addition to the lineup. And I feel it works really well with Vegeta here. The articulation overall is pretty good. The pros for the feet compared to the Super Vegeta one, I mean definitely a huge improvement having this size and the positioning of the feet. It makes it a lot nicer. And also the fact that he is a cheap retail release is a pro for me. Now in terms of the cons, again the design of the waist area is still a little bit limited in Vegeta. A bit more articulation there would be really nice. A few more accessories, mainly some key blasts with Vegeta. We need some more effects like that, and that is definitely a con for me that he doesn't come with anything. But yeah, overall I don't have any real big gripes with this figure. I mean, if you have this Vegeta, I mean, change the colours and that's what you've got. So no real design changes or any improvements over older releases, just a different paint job, and that's basically this figure. Though it is definitely a must for a collection, especially if you're a Vegeta fan in my opinion, and it's great for new collectors who have a hard time picking up the old figures because they've gotten pretty expensive. So yeah, that is it for the review. If you want to check in more photos of Vegeta here, jump on rockchala.com, 360 images and more selection of, and more images just showcasing the different poses that this figure can strike and the accessories. Some at the end of this video as well, and on Instagram. So yeah, that is it. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, cheers!